Alrighty guys, gonna make a quick video on this mini skid that I'm working on here. Had some problems with this thing here the other day, and I went up there on the job to look at it, and he kept on telling me the light kept on coming on, it would just die. And then I come out there on a service run, and the only thing that was happening was this little solenoid here was clicking, and it was so hot that you couldn't even touch the fuel shutoff solenoid right there. So I was like, I took that out, and I bypassed it there so I could get it loaded on the trailer, and I brought it here to the shop, and went to, told them they could use it with it just bypassing until the new one come in. They used it. He said the high temp light came on again, and the machine shut itself off. So I was like, well, that's kind of weird, because it's I got it bypassed there. So anyways, I told him, I said, just, I went to their shop to look at it and, figure it out, because if this thing here, if this fuel shutoff here has not got a good ground to it, it will not latch itself. So I went over there, and I couldn't, mess around with the grounds there, checked everything out, and come to find out I had some bad ground wires, and I fixed the ground wires and got that there, and then got it fixed and got it running good, and it was sitting there running for about 20 minutes. And then I noticed, I was like, man, I said, started missing, like it was trying to cut off. I was like, that's kind of weird, So then I took the fuel shutoff solely back off and tried to start it, and it wouldn't start back up. Thought maybe that new one, went bad or something. But anyways, I come back here, I checked all the fuses in the thing back here, and some of the fuses that they had were these here. They got little arrows on them that point in the way that they should go, and it says the same thing on this side here. Make sure all your fuses are in there right. Even these fuses here, they'll have 3 prongs on one side and 2 on the other. Always make sure your fuses is in there the right way. I checked all them, everything was good. But the main problem was I had some corroded ground wires down here on the one that go into the block, and it was not grounding itself out. That was what we was having with the problem with the fuel shutoff. The other problem, I was like, let me check the fuel in this thing, see what the fuel. And as soon as I pulled the cap off, strong whiff of gas. And they bought this thing brand new from a rental company. Well, not brand new they bought it from a rental company, about 1,100 hours on it. So I was like, man, that's weird. That should not smell like gas. So then I drained the tank out of there, and this has got off-road in it, guys. But if you smell that, guys, it smells like pure gas. And that's what it was doing. The motor was getting itself hot and shutting itself down because the gas is burning too hot. I don't think it messed the motor up, but I told them, I said, we're just going to run it and see what it's going to do. They changed the oil on it. I changed the fuel filter on it, and I run it for probably about 30 or 45 minutes outside the other day, and it did super, super good. So the only problem we're going to have now is this pin here broke on this right here. This here goes the dad and them stuff. So I'm not going to worry. I just got it put on their machine because I'm still kind of testing out to make sure that's going to be fine, but I think it is. But we got to put this pin in here. I done knocked out there's a roll pin that goes in here. I knocked it. I'm going to take this nut here off, and these holes here are super wallered out. I'm going to grind these out, and I'm going to weld them up. And then once I get all there done, I'm going to put the brand new pin in there so it can lock itself in there. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and get the tools and start taking this nut here off. Get the roll pin somewhere on the ground, I think. I'll get the roll pin, pick it up. We'll set this down on the ground, and then we'll get the welder out, and we'll weld all them hose up. Alrighty, guys. I went on ahead and I turned these hoses around this way so they're not going to be in our way. But we're going to have to, like I said, we need to weld it up here. This one's not as bad. This one and this one are the 2 worst because they get used all the time. And all you got to do, like I said, guys, just take that big nut off. And there's kind of like a race or something in here, or some kind of brass bushing, I would think. And that's just to keep that from wearing the steel out. It's been greased, so that's good. And but we're going to weld this here up, and then weld this in here up. We're just going to weld around the side here, weld around the side there, and then weld around the side there. And then if I have to, I'll take my little drill thing I got, and the piece that was on here, this is the piece that broke on there. We just got to make sure this goes down, and the smoother this goes in there. See how that's all walled? Okay, guys, it's moving around all the time. See how it's moving around? That's what we're going to get fixed. So let me get the welder here, and I'll weld this stuff here up. This is a old ass welder that I've had years ago, and it's done a pretty decent job. There's a Miller welder up there at Dad's house, but I just leave it up there because they use it all the time up there. So we'll power this thing here up and see what we can come up with. I just got power in the shop last week. I'd always been running the power off one of these other buildings that comes from the house, and that's why anytime I ever welded, I've always used my service truck on stuff, because because there was just not enough current. So I finally got me a 200 amp service in here in the shop, and I run my wires from here up and around the top like this, because I'm gonna put a garage door on this. That way there I can it have a big door, so I can just walk straight from here into that lean-to, because I'm gonna box that lean-to in. And then there's a big cord there for a welder, and then I got another big cord back there for my air compressor, and I got cords all along the wall, and I got a little spot for my office, and I got some lights back there in the back. So now I can actually use the shop and weld. Only thing I got to lock now, guys, is just getting some concrete in here eventually. But for now, this gravel and these rubber mats here, they do good for me. And like I said, I got these mats. I got these out of the dumpster over there at like a rubber place we got here. They were just thrown away because there was old belts. And I've been over many times before, and I've got rubber, just like this before. So I'll quit rambling on here. I'll get the welder. I'm gonna weld these hoses up real quick. Alright guys, I've got it all welded. I got these here welded up. I didn't weld this one here and grind it down. I gotta just wall these out a little bit from where I welded them, and then make it where that pin slides down and forth. So let me get my little grinder out. I'll grind these up, and then after I get that there done, I'll show you how good that pin slides in and out there. Alrighty guys, I got it all welded up here now. And like I said, the main thing you want to do is you want to make sure it goes flat down there about like that one. That one there is the same way. That one there is about the same way. And then when there's them right there, might need just a little bit of grinding on those. Not much, guys. See like how this one goes pretty much down on there pretty good. That one there goes there pretty good. But I want it to be a little bit tighter because like I said, it's going to wear itself out anyways. Let me go ahead and I'm going to put it back down on there and tighten the nut back up on it. Guys, let's turn that damn service truck off of there. Let's go ahead and see now. Like I said, you don't want to get it too tight because then it won't move, but that one's down in there pretty good right there. Just make sure that that's what we got to make sure that it falls down in there. Falls down in that one. If you go back around here, falls down in that one. Alrighty. Alright, there we go, got that now. Now it's got to tighten this here back up because it's spun with it. So, make sure we get this pulled back around. Remember, take it out a little bit just so it's right there. So now I got it right there. Now what I do with that damn roll pin. Spin that around like that, guys, so you can get it, so you can hit it back in there. Just like that. And then as you spin it, it should lock itself down in there how it should go. So now we know we got that pretty good. All I gotta do now is I'll spin these hoses back around there. And then I'll take and I got to put a little rope in here. But other than that there, guys, I just want to show you, if you got a lot of slop in your pins there, you can take and weld it up there. And shouldn't take you very long. It'll take a little bit of the slop out, because if you don't get it now, it's eventually going to take and do what this one here did. And what this one did was the slop was so much in there, it wound up just snapping that pin there off. So just, if you ever have this problem and you're starting to get a whole lot of slop in there, make sure you go ahead and just take the time. This probably didn't take me maybe an hour and a half to take and weld these here up to where we could get some of the slop out of there and make it to where it's not, it's not jerking so much and snapping that pin off. So thanks again for watching, guys. And this, if you need to, this is a LG 46 model grapple is what this is.